So tomorrow morning I am heading off on my travels again. This time we're going west instead of east, off to Orlando for the Enterprise Connect trade show, and then on Thursday I will take a jaunt up to New York for some meetings in New York City and Manhattan, and then late on Saturday about 11 p.m. I'll take the last flight back to London, which will get me home in early hours of Sunday morning. So I thought I'd take a few minutes and answer a few questions about travelling, because after my last video about my trip to China, I got a lot of questions on Twitter and via Facebook and a few other things just on long distance business travel. So I thought I'd take this option, do a bit of Q&A. So the first question is, how do you handle the jet lag? I wish I knew the answer, is really the honest thing to say. I have tried everything, absolutely everything, from tablets to herbal remedies through all sorts of every kooky thing you've ever heard of. And you know what? None of them work. Not a single one of them. The reality is jet lag is just one of those things. As you get older, it gets probably harder to deal with. But as you get older, you get more resigned to the fact that you're going to suffer from jet lag. So really the only thing that helps with jet lag is time. And generally, this is just for me personally, but it takes me about 1 day for every time zone to adjust properly. So if you travel 9 time zones, it's going to take you 9 days to basically sync your body clock. If you travel then 9 time zones and then on the 9th day you turn around, you fly 9 time zones home, guess what? It's going to take you another 9 days to get back the other way. The reality is everybody says they have different things that help with it. None of them seem to work for me. So just time, sleep, and trying to get yourself back into time zone. I do find when I get home from long distance traveling that exercise does help. I go off to British Military Fitness, and Dave, who's our park manager, runs me ragged around the park, and I get so exhausted that I get home and fall asleep. It helps. Okay, second question. Do you ever get sick of traveling? No is really the answer. I've been doing it for so long that it just becomes second nature to me. A 10-hour flight is just one of those things. I get on the flight, I fall asleep, wake up when I get there. It doesn't bother me traveling. Obviously, I'm away from my family, and now with a new grandson, I do miss seeing him. But I've done it for a significant portion of my life, so it doesn't faze me. I do like to travel efficiently. I actually prefer to travel on my own. I don't like traveling in a large group of people because I'm very fussy. I'm one of those people, when I go to the airport, I like to go and do things a certain way, and I don't want to drag around the shops in the terminal, all the rest of it. So, I like to travel on my own, but I enjoy the traveling, and I don't think that's ever going to change. Okay, what's your favourite airline? Well, if you haven't watched the video that I posted recently, up the top there somewhere is a link to the £10,000 airline experience when I got to travel first class on Emirates. Emirates is my favourite airline. Even travelling in economy on Emirates is significantly better than travelling on some other airlines. Probably I would say second favourite is probably Virgin Atlantic. But most of the time I travel on British Airways. Not because I particularly like British Airways. In fact, I don't really like British Airways. But I've got so many air miles with British Airways, and it's one of those things, you get sucked into the loyalty program. And if you have a choice, you fly with the airline that you've got the most miles with and the most credibility with, because they might give you an upgrade. That's really it. There's lots of other questions that are roughly the same. One of the things that somebody did ask me was, what do you have? Are there any specific tools you take or things that you take that make your life easier when you travel? And I suppose one day I'll probably give you a view into my laptop bag and all the things I travel in here. But 2 things that I can highly recommend that won't go amiss in anybody's bag. This is a 4-port high-power USB charger. You can charge your phone, your iPad, your tablet, your watch, and another thing all at the same time off of this. And the nice thing about this one is it has removable plugs. So you change this for the other plugs, that whatever country you're going to, and you just plug this in at night, and you've got 4 high-powered USB ports. This was ridiculously cheap. You can see it sounds very plasticky. I think this was less than £10 on Amazon. I've had it 3 years and it hasn't let me down yet. So a wonderful bit of kit. I couldn't honestly tell you who made it. It's not got a single mark or label on, which probably means it came from China. The second thing that I carry is this thing. This is a Swiss high-power USB battery system. So it has 3 ports for charging devices. Obviously, if you're not in a hotel where you can plug this thing in and you're just wandering around with this in your laptop bag, this will charge everything as well. This is a pretty big battery. It's a 25,600 milliamp hour battery. This will charge your phone for about 2 weeks. You can literally keep this in your bag and just plug your phone in and keep it running for about 2 weeks. One word of caution: if you go to China, they have rules about the size of lithium batteries that you can carry on the planes, and they will take this off you. This is too big. Most other countries it's absolutely fine, but this is over the limit for traveling in China. So when I go to China, I leave this at home. Okay, that's it. Tomorrow morning, Gatwick Airport, and then on to Orlando.